We're at the Barclays Center where Errol Spence Jr. retained his IBF welterweight title by defeating Lamont Peterson by TKO 8th round. And now let's go to post.
Derek James, is your Errol Spence the pound-for-pound top fighter in the world right now?
I think he possibly is. I mean, I don't really know. Let me see. But I don't really know if he is or not. I mean, I just think that he looked good. He fought a very tough guy, and I think if Lamont Peterson was given the opportunity to do more, he would have done more. So I think Errol was able to be, defensive minded. He gave it a couple of shots, but that's boxing. That's what, that's what happens in boxing. And he was able to keep coming and keep the pressure and keep doing what he needs to do to be successful. Hey, man, I don't really know. I mean, we spar with heavyweights. So, I mean, maybe the heavyweight in the gym, can do the work, but it's not a fight. But, I don't know.
So, Derek, there was nothing Lamont did that surprised you guys at all?
No, I mean, he kind of did exactly what we expected. Every now and then I said he's going to shoot the sneaky right hand, and he did that also. And so that's why I came in the corner and said, listen, every now and then he's trying to catch you with a counter punch, or a right counter or a left counter. And I watched it when he fought, it was the last fight, whoever the guy was. And that's what he was kind of doing, sneaking a little straight right and the right or the left hook. So it was okay. I mean, we were prepared for that.
And what round did you say this is the beginning of the end?
Well, when he knocked him down, I think that because initially when you see when he opens him up and he dropped him, that was kind of the point where it went like overkill. I mean, why you let him keep punching a guy like that? I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, I don't understand that myself.
What, if anything, do you think Errol could do better?
I can't tell you because we're going to work on it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, but hey, you just got to keep the focus like he was doing it. Keep doing what he was doing, man. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the welterweight champion of the world and one of the best fighters on the planet. No, you can take this.
You got a Corona. Who drinks? Yeah, I feel good.
I do.
Ask you the same question I asked Derek James. Are you the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world right now?
I'm not gonna say I'm the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world right now, but I'm definitely headed that way.
Guys,
please raise your hand for a mic.
Dante's Boxing Nation. Errol, congratulations. Did you mess up by looking too impressive to where some of your other competition may say, you know what, let me wait until he looks a little bit more flawed before I get in with him?
No. I mean, you can't never look too impressive. Every fight I want to look impressive. Every fight I want to put on one-sided performances, and that's what I always say. So you can't never look too impressive in a fight.
Errol over here.
Errol, right here. Right here.
Oh,
Coach Anthony here with Behind the Gloves, man. Congratulations on a great win. Tonight you showed that you could box. You showed that you could use angles, that you can use lateral movement, that you can actually box from the outside. We saw Peterson try to walk you down, which I don't think was the smartest decision. I obviously showed that. So do you think that also show people who think that you're just a come-forward fighter, who think that you just put pressure, that you can actually box, utilize movement, angles, and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, guys who grew up with me in the amateurs know I can box. I started out boxing. I didn't win national tournaments and win tournaments overseas and, become an Olympian because I was just a come-forward fighter. I can do it both. I can box and I can come forward. But, I never really showed that game because, I always knew I can just press guys out and just beat them up. So, my coach told me to show different things and vary my style up and my punches up and just step over. So I listened to him this fight and just stepping over, using my angles and things like that.
Over here, Errol.
Tell him too much.
Over here, Errol, on the side. Congratulations to you. Can you, two questions for you. The first one, can you just discuss your, you relied a lot on tremendous body punching tonight. That seemed to really, really wear him down. Is that part of Derek's plan all along, go at the body?
That's every fight. That's every fight. That's just repetition. That's what we practice in the gym. That's what we've been doing since the amateurs. We've been going to the body, body first and then go upstairs. Because the body is a bigger target than the head. So we like going to the body first, breaking the guy down, then bringing it back upstairs.
The other question is, you made your point in the ring afterwards. You said, as you said before the fight, that the fighter you want is Keith Thurman. But we all know that that won't be next because he's coming off the injury. He's going to fight somebody else in April. He said himself, sitting right in that spot where you guys did a press conference a couple months ago, that he didn't think the fight would happen even perhaps until 2019. You're not going to sit around and wait for him, as you've said. Who out there can you fight that's not Keith Thurman that can interest the fans or interest you in your next fight?
I mean, anybody. I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit around and wait for him like I've been saying. The whole goal is this year is to stay active and fight quality opponents. So right now I'm just thinking of a homecoming. I'm thinking about going home and fighting in Dallas, my next fight. So hopefully we can make that happen.
I want to answer that also, is that we are giving Keith Thurman an allowance that we did not give Kell Brook, because the world expected Kell Brook to fight Errol Spence next, right? Yeah, but he's giving him a pass now. He's come. Well, everybody's giving him a pass because he came off of a surgery. Both same situations. So he shouldn't be allowed to wait for 2 years or whatever it is he wants to do. He should be able to get in there and take a fight.
Errol, over here. Congratulations on an impressive performance. This was your first fight since May. That was your first fight since the August before. Do you want to be more active, and how many times do you want to fight this year?
This year I want to fight 3 times. You know, I didn't take too much punishment. You know, got hit a couple times, so you know I'm looking to come back in either May or June, and hopefully have a homecoming in Dallas. But at least 3 times a year, I would like to fight.
Errol, you had right here, Lim Satterfield. You had mentioned that you thought that Danny Garcia lost or had a draw with Lamont Peterson. What kind of statement is this with him fighting next month, and you know, for fans to make that direct comparison, what you did against Lamont and what he did against Lamont?
It's a big statement, you know. Like I always say, you know, when I fight guys, and you know they fought, you know, another elite fighter, you know, I always want to showcase and do better than them. You know, show with the Kristal fight, he fought Pacquiao. Show with the Bundu fight when he fought Keith Thurman with 12 rounds. You know, it's been showing, you know, Kell Brook and the other fighters. So, you know, I wanted to show that, you know, it wasn't an easy fight. You know, it was a lot of thought going into the fight, and a lot, especially in the inside and in the ring, because Lamont a crafty fighter. And if you back up from him, if he senses any type of weakness, Lamont's going to come forward. So, I mean, my coach came up with a great game plan, and, you know, made it look kind of easy.
So you go into the ring with a conscious decision of making that direct comparison and finishing stronger than somebody else?
Not going in the ring, but, you know, doing training, you know, we make a conscious, you know, I think about that. I watched the Danny Garcia Lamont fight. I seen it was a close fight. It could have went either way. So, you know, I wanted to make it look easier than that fight. And I wanted to put on a better performance than Danny did.
John Galley, New York Fights. Errol, do you piggyback off of your trainer's statements with regard to Keith Thurman not getting a pass to fight you? We're in January of 2018. Obviously, we got a long way to go. Do you see any reason why that fight shouldn't be made this year? When I interviewed him earlier this month, he indicated that a lot of things regarding yourself was a little overblown, and that he's a bigger puncher than Kell Brook because he hurt Sean Porter a couple times in that fight, and Brook wasn't able to hurt him. What do you think about the likelihood of that fight if Keith Thurman is able to come back and, let's say, April looks pretty good? What would you like to say to Keith Thurman right now?
I mean, he said he's a bigger puncher than these guys, but when the last time he got a knockout? I mean, so you know that, you know, his the pedigree opponents raised, and he's not getting the knockouts anymore. You know, he was one time when he was fighting lower caliber fighters, but now he's not getting any knockouts. And you know, I give him a pass. You know, I even said that I've been going on record and say that I let him have a tune-up fight. He's been out for a while. He just come off an injury. Have a tune-up fight. But after that, it should be me. In 2018? Yeah, 2018. This is the beginning of the year. This is January. You have a tune-up fight March, April. Then we can fight at the end of the year.
Coach Anthony here with Behind the Gloves again. I have another question for you. So you beat Kell Brook, you beat Lamont Peterson. Do you feel that you beat, like out of all the guys in the 147 division, do you feel like you already beat the 2 best fighters? And if not, who do you think would be your toughest challenge at 147, other than obviously a Keith Thurman as a name, but who else is out there? Who else would you like to fight?
You know, with Lamont, he is a top 5 fighter. in the welterweight division. With Kell Brook, you know, before I beat him, everybody was saying, you know, arguably he was the best welterweight in the division. You know, he was a big guy. He was real sharp. He was a guy who could box and bang. You know, it's a lot of guys for me to fight. I mean,
would you like that fight? I like the fight. I'm not saying he could win. Man down.
Hey, Errol, correct. TBA Boxing Talk, Dallas, Texas.
Hey, what up, man?
Before this fight, a lot of people were saying, oh, Errol can't move his head, he can't box. They said you were just a come-forward fighter. Did you show everybody tonight your full arsenal?
I've been told people I can do it all. Like I said before, nobody really made me box, or nobody really made me, you know, move my head or use angles and things like that. You know, even with my coach, why don't you, you know, I do it in sparring all the time. My coach in the fight, he's like, why don't you use your angles? Why ain't you moving, doing this? Because I didn't have to. You know, and just today I just felt like boxing and using my angles and things like that. But you see at the end of the round, I start coming forward.
Errol, Chris Connor here, Last Call Radio Show. Congratulations on your performance first. We're in an era now where talking trash, Twitter feuds, Instagram posts, that's how you become a big star, whether it's Connor, whether it's Floyd, whether it's Adrian. That's not you. You're not a guy who likes to talk trash. How do you build your brand event? How do you become a guy who can, you know, captivate people who are non-boxing fans, casual fans, when you don't want to go on Twitter, you don't want to go on Facebook, and I'm guessing you don't want to be one of those guys who acts like an idiot?
I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard didn't talk trash either. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard crossed over and became that guy because his performance in the ring, you know, his smile, he was a people's person and things like that. So
before you walked in here, his name came up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Things like that.
All
So
you gotta do is keep beating people's asses like he's
Yeah.
doing every fight out there. You don't have to play the fool. Just do what you're supposed to do. And if you're exciting enough in the ring and you're destroying top level of competition, you're gonna be a star. 5 million people saw him fight on network television. 12,000 people. He don't live here in Brooklyn. It'd be nice if he did, but the man lives in Texas. He came in and there were 12,000 people here tonight. I mean, it's happening. Sorry.
Right here. Errol, you're obviously a special fighter, but Derrick James is a special trainer. Do you think he's trainer of the year?
Definitely. I mean, definitely, especially if you look what he's done with Jamel. I mean, Jamel was a guy who used to box. He didn't get many knockouts. You know, people was trying to call him boring and things like that. And then now, you know, he's getting knocked. He had, I think, two knockouts that was nominated for knockout of the year. So I mean, you see it. The proof is in the pudding. Even with me, every fight I'm developing, I'm getting better. I'm getting more calmer in the ring, skills and everything else. So. I mean, the proof is in the pudding that he should be coach of the year. He has 2 fighters on top of the game in 147 and 154. Yeah, I was a little disappointed, but, you know, with us, we keep our head down and keep working. We're not worried about it. You know, as long as we keep winning, keep looking great, that's all we're worried about.
Hey, congrats on the win, champ. R.L. Woodson from Round by Round Boxing. Things have obviously changed since you and Lamont sparred back in the day. But anything tonight that caught you off guard with him staying in the pocket so much? Did you have any expectations of him fighting a different fight?
No, I think Lamont and them whole game plan was, not to get on their back foot because they didn't want me to become confident and try to press him out. So they tried to stand their ground, and it kind of backfired on them because they didn't expect me to box. They wanted me to just come forward and shoot my load and, go all out. And I was using my jab, boxing, using my angles and my reach and my distance.
Hey,
last question.
Hey, Dante's Boxing Nation. Going back to Keith Thurman, like you said, you give him a pass, and it's understandable he could get a tune-up. Do you think it's possible maybe you guys could have a doubleheader where you guys fight on the same card and you can sign a contract before that? It won't happen?
If he co-man, yeah.
Yeah. So if he agrees to something like that.
I don't really see either one of them agreeing.
But regardless of you guys.
One last question right here, goddamn. Right here.
Okay, all right.
Right back there?
John Cudney, Reddit Boxing Sunday Puncher. So congratulations, Eric and Errol and Derek. You showed devastating power again tonight. Your sparring partners say you hit like a heavyweight. Derek talks about all the bones you've broken in your sparring partners and your opponents. Is there anyone at 147 who can go to the distance with you, speaking of guys like Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter?
I mean, they could. That's what we train for. Like I said before this Lamont Peterson fight, we train for the distance. I don't train, for a 6-round fight, 7-round fight. I train mentally for a 12-round fight. So if it's in the 10th, 11th round, I still have gas in the tank. I don't train for early knockouts. If it come, I'll take it. But other than that, we don't focus on knockouts during training.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
And I'm Kristal Hart reporting from the Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the fights.